Hey Columbus, Tom Silva here from This Old House and Ask This Old House. And I'll be at the Dispatch Home and Garden Show on Saturday, February 16th.
What if everything you thought you knew about this old house was only half the story? At 77 years old, Tom Silva, the legend behind America's favorite renovation show, is finally speaking out. Not just about blueprints and beams, but about the conflicts, heartbreak, and near disasters that shaped the show behind the scenes. Why did he almost quit? Who nearly burned down a historic home? And how did he keep it all together for over 4 decades? Stick around because what Tom Silva just confirmed will completely change the way you watch this old house. Don't miss this one. Tom Silva was born in 1947 in Lexington, Massachusetts, into a family that built their life with their hands. He didn't attend a fancy architecture school. He didn't need to. From a young age, he was swinging hammers beside his father and brother on real job sites, learning the meaning of precision, patience, and pride in a job well done. In the 1970s, Tom co-founded Silva Brothers Construction, which quickly earned a name across the Boston area for its attention to detail and top-tier renovations. One of the jobs they landed, building a studio for the PBS show The Victory Garden, would unknowingly change his life. That job brought Tom Silva to the attention of Russell Morrish, the creator of this old house. By 1986, Tom joined the show as a contractor. Just 2 years later, in 1988, he was promoted to full-time main contractor and a permanent fixture on screen. Audiences loved him, not just for his expertise, but for the calm, honest way he approached every challenge. What began as a small educational series quickly turned into a beloved national program. But what viewers didn't see was what was happening behind the scenes. In 2004, Tom Silva nearly quit. Tensions between the creative production staff and the construction crew had been building for years. The demands of television clashed with the reality of building. Camera crews wanted drama and perfect shots. Builders wanted structure, safety, and common sense. After countless arguments and sleepless nights, Tom drafted a resignation letter. The stress was too much. But after a confidential meeting with executives and a promise of more control over the technical decisions, Tom stayed. His influence over both the construction and the storytelling side of the show grew from there. Between 2010 and 2015, the producers pushed for a fresh image. They floated the idea of replacing veteran cast members with younger faces to appeal to new viewers. Tom Silva's name came up in meetings as a possible phase-out. But the reaction from both fans and the internal team was swift and strong. Loyal audiences had grown up watching Tom. He wasn't just a contractor, he was a teacher, a mentor, and the face of trust. The executive team backed down. In fact, instead of reducing his screen time, they gave him more responsibility. But not everyone who joined the show shared his values. Over the decades, Tom Silva worked with hundreds of professionals, but 5 of them left a mark for all the wrong reasons. The first was Jake D., an electrician hired for a historical project featured in season 38, episode 5. In Boston, the home had charm but dangerous, outdated wiring. Despite clear instructions, Jake skipped vital inspection steps, confident that replacing the main wires was enough. During filming, sparks shot from a socket, smoke poured out, and flames climbed the wooden walls. A part of the ceiling was destroyed before the crew could extinguish the fire. The cause: an exposed wire Jake had missed. Tom looked him in the eye and said, "You skipped the inspection. That didn't just damage the house, it endangered lives." Jake was fired that day. Next came Ronnie M. During season 39, episode 8, in a suburban project in Massachusetts. He was supposed to manage materials and ensure accurate measurements, but he questioned instructions, resisted teamwork, and grew hostile when asked to double-check anything. When Tom noticed a misaligned floorboard and asked him to remeasure it, Ronnie snapped back, "I already did it right. Why are you always nitpicking?" The job site went silent. Calmly, Tom Silva replied, "One small mistake can ruin the whole foundation. This isn't about your pride, it's about the project." Ronnie was replaced immediately. Then there was Linda V., an interior designer featured in season 41, episode 3. During the renovation of an old townhouse in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Her sketches were stunning, but her execution was chaotic. She changed paint colors last minute, moved walls without warning, and constantly delayed installs. When she tried to redesign the front door just hours before its scheduled installation, Tom had had enough. He told her, "A great idea only matters if we can bring it to life together." She was replaced by a more cooperative designer, but not before the project suffered major delays. In Season 40, Episode 12 of This Old House, the crew face one of their most dangerous challenges yet reinforcing the roof of a historic home. To support a newly designed attic space, Frank H., a veteran structural engineer, submitted detailed calculations and assured the team the roof would hold. But he ignored one critical factor: Tom Silva's warning about strong local winds. During installation on a gusty afternoon, the unthinkable happened. The beams buckled, a section of the roof collapsed, and debris came crashing down. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the damage was significant. Reviewing the blueprints, Tom saw it immediately. The calculations had failed to include wind pressure. Combat stern, he confronted Frank and said, "A mistake like this doesn't just cost money, it can cost lives." Frank was dismissed on the spot, and from that day forward, stricter structural reviews were enforced on all projects. Then came Season 42, Episode 6, and another alarming incident. Christie, an experienced excavator operator, arrived on site visibly exhausted, his eyes bloodshot and movement slow. Hours into the day, while operating heavy machinery, he lost control of a rock lift. The massive stone fell just feet from the crew. Tom Silva didn't hesitate. He shut the site down immediately. "You're not clear-headed enough to work," he told Chris. "You almost caused a serious accident." Chris was let go permanently, and Tom immediately implemented mandatory health checks for all equipment operators, proving once again that safety, above all, comes first. But beyond the conflicts and missteps, one moment nearly broke Tom Silva personally. In 2018, Austin Wilson, a young technician he had mentored, died suddenly while on a filming trip. Tom had brought Austin into the team, trained him, believed in him. The shock of losing someone so young and full of promise left Tom shaken. For months, he considered retiring from all professional activity. But after internal support and reorganization, he returned to filming out of respect for Austin, for the team, and for the audience. Today, Tom Silva stands as far more than just a contractor. He's a mentor, a guide, and a pillar of wisdom for the next generation of builders. His role on This Old House and Ask This Old House has evolved from on-screen problem solver to behind-the-scenes educator. Since 2016, his nephew, Charlie Silva, has slowly stepped into more prominent roles, taking on major renovations under Tom's watchful eye. This wasn't by accident, it was a carefully guided handover. Tom didn't just throw him into the spotlight. He trained him, tested him, and ensured that the same dedication to detail and excellence lived on in the next Silva generation. But it's not just about family. Tom has made it his mission to support and nurture new talent across the trades. Rising stars like Mauro Enrique in finishing, Jen Novata in landscaping, and Heath Eastman in electrical work all benefited from Tom's steady leadership and quiet encouragement. Through Generation Next, a national initiative aimed at solving the skilled labor shortage in America, Tom travels to vocational schools, speaks at trade forums, and leads workshops that inspire students to see the trades not just as jobs but as careers built on pride and purpose. Despite his decades of TV fame, Tom Silva has never sought the spotlight. He lives a quiet, purpose-driven life in a beautifully restored 19th century home in the Boston suburbs, a personal project that reflects everything he believes in. Honor the past, work with your hands, and build something worth keeping. Together with his wife Susan Silva, the house has become a symbol of his philosophy, preserving history while embracing smart, sustainable solutions. Their children, Kate and TJ, aren't part of the television world, but they remain deeply connected to the family business, offering support in media and finance when needed. Tom's impact reaches far beyond the screen. He's an active advisor to nonprofit organizations that train disadvantaged youth in construction skills, teaching them not just how to hold a tool, but how to hold themselves accountable. His standards are quoted in trade journals, his videos are used in Massachusetts high school curriculums, and his decisions have influenced regional building codes, setting a standard of safety and craftsmanship. At 77, Tom Silva is still building, but what he's building now is legacy. His journey is proof that true greatness isn't about never making mistakes. It's about how you lead when mistakes happen. He didn't just build homes, he built a culture where integrity, humility, and leadership are as essential as nails and lumber. If you believe in doing things right, in building with care and character, then share this story, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us your favorite This Old House memory in the comments, because the legacy of Tom Silva isn't just about home improvement, it's about improving how we value the people who build our world. Thanks for watching.